Welcome back guys to another video, and in this video we're going to be going over some of the most underrated workouts that most people don't really consider when planning out their different routines. So we're going to be watching a video from Eugene Teo, I don't know how to say his name, um, and he'll be explaining to us with his amazing Australian accent what are some of the most underrated exercises that most people are ignoring and should be paying much attention to. So without further ado, let's get into the video.
Alright, so here we are with Eugene Tiao to T-T-U-O. I don't know how to say his name. Just going to be going over and giving us a quick overlook on some underrated exercises. So let's get into the video.
Today we're looking at 10 of the most underrated exercises people aren't doing in the gym. I chose this list based on 3 different criteria. First, exercises people aren't doing enough of in general at all. Secondly, exercises people might have done before but have either stopped doing or aren't given the same priority as other exercises. And finally, adjustments to some commonly performed exercises that truly make it an exercise that I believe stands on its own as something worth trying. Now, this is my list and it's not comprehensive, and I'm sure there'll be points that you agree and disagree with.
This is a pretty smart guy, since I'm pretty sure he has a few degrees and some stuff, so
underhand grip bench press.
he's
This one ticks
pretty
boxes
well
number
educated.
1 and 3. Just about everybody's done a bench press, but very few have tried it with an underhand grip. Apart from feeling a little bit strange at first through the hands and the wrists, the real reason why we do this is to create a narrower elbow path. Anatomically, this might be a better position for your chest muscles to have better leverage over your arm. In plain English, what this means is your chest muscles can get a better stretch and can work more effectively. This might be why there is some data out there showing that you can get better upper chest activation from this, even when compared to a traditional incline barbell bench press.
It's kind of like when you do a push-up, you get upper chest development when you do push-up with your reverse hand grip.
This is one that pretty much disappeared somewhere in the late 80s or early 90s and very quickly became a very rare piece of equipment. I don't think many people realize just how well it lines up your back muscles to work compared to a traditional cable row, and they gravitated more towards that.
A lot of people used to use this.
In most gyms.
Arnold used to use this.
Most people think of maybe vertical or horizontal pulling, but I believe diagonal pulls are extremely underrated. Although it is cool to see it gaining a little bit of popularity nowadays. If you don't have this set up,
usually you only with that one thing. I won't pull that exercise.
Copenhagen plank. This one is usually seen as a rehab exercise or maybe an activation drill, since it was really popularized by Danish groin injury researchers, in particular Christian Thorberg. However, in my opinion, adductors, or the inner thigh muscles in general, may be some of the most undertrained muscles overall, which is quite surprising given just how big and strong and powerful these muscles are, particularly out of the bottom of the squat or a deadlift motion, and how so many athletic positions put us into positions where the adductors need to have a good amount of strength and power.
Completely agree.
The Copenhagen plank is a fantastic start point for training them, and it can be very quickly progressed into harder variations and go from a static exercise into a more dynamic one that really challenges your entire lower body,
you have to push yourself more,
and even your upper body to work together as one cohesive unit. Number 4 is the leg press. This one is going to be a little weird to add to the list because I'm sure many of you do leg presses and there aren't many fancy variations I'm going to be talking about today. But while most people are probably doing leg presses, I think they get pushed aside a lot over free weight exercises like barbell squats. Nobody cares what you leg press. It's all about your squat numbers. So first up, if you are bragging about your leg press numbers, we definitely
leg press though is a lot easier in general too. If you're gonna get easy workout in, I feel like leg press is just easier.
Most valuable ways to gain a lot of lower body strength and to push your legs to completely different limits than you can probably ever achieve with squats. And they remove your lower back or technique from being the limiting factor in the equation.
There's no technique, it's just pushing.
Now I know people are going to be all up in the comments saying, oh,
there is some technique.
Stabilizer muscles don't get trained. Well, first of all, stabilizer muscles don't really exist as a separate thing. The muscles that stabilize your
all your muscles,
glutes, quads, adductors, hamstrings, and all the tiny rotator muscles around the hip joint, all of which get trained on free weight squats.
All your back muscles are technically stabilizing muscles
that we could train for by adding in more instability, but if that was the pure goal, then a free weight squat is horrible compared to doing it on a Swiss ball or using a pistol squat or even balancing on one leg just holding some weights. If you want to feel your stabilizer muscles, grab a pair of heavy dumbbells and try to stand on one leg for more than 20 seconds. I guarantee you'll feel things you've never felt before. Now, does that mean that it's better than squats or leg presses? No, it doesn't. It just means you're challenging your stability more. And that's not necessarily a good or a bad thing. For most people, stability as an
Very
action
true.
will be trained when doing everyday life, and if you're following a well-rounded program that includes things like maybe running or
Gotta move
plyometrics or other
around, do
athletic-based
things.
drills. If you want to get stronger legs and build some muscle, then the leg press and squats are both valuable tools. All right, let's go to exercise number 5, the rope pull down. A lot of people are doing pull downs and
rope
rows,
pull
but
downs.
not as many people are doing them with a rope, and I believe it's an
I feel like that's
absolute
kind of like
First, it allows you to customize
doing
your
a
grip and
towel
find more
pull up.
comfortable
I have like
positions
do
that
towel
this
pull
may
ups
provide.
sometimes. You
And
wrap a
secondly,
towel
it
around
allows
the
you to
pull
create
up.
this outwards force
It has
as
like a
you pull
very
down.
similar
So it's
motion
not just about pulling in
to a
or
rope
down,
pull
it's
down.
pulling apart. The benefit to this is it can help coordinate arm and upper back muscles to work together, and it really lights everything up back there. Even though there's nothing pulling your hands in together, it's a great subconscious cueing technique to be using. I love
Very
it when
interesting.
pull downs
I like
with
it.
a slight lean back to really target the rear delts, and on a horizontal row to really let me stretch forwards and open everything up through my back. Number 6 is a split squat. People are absolutely doing these in all their variations, but I think they're still often seen as an accessory movement and not as the main meat and potatoes to a workout.
Very true.
Just like before, it's all about what you can squat, bro, not about
Split
split squats.
squats.
But there
No,
are
split
unique
squats are good.
benefits you're going to get from any single leg exercise
Kinda like a
with
lunge.
split squats that you can't get from traditional two-legged squat movements. Primarily with how it challenges your rotation at the hip.
It's pretty
This
much
is
it.
big,
That's what
and
it
this
is.
a
Pretty much
huge
it's just
limiter
a
to many
lunge.
people's range of motion and mobility, and it can also help you access more
Yeah, this
strength
is what they
and
call
train
lunge
ranges
in
of motion
Australia,
areas like the
split squats.
adductors and the glutes. I absolutely believe that many people would benefit from experimenting with doing split squats as a primary exercise,
Yeah.
just like a barbell squat, and experiment with things like stability assistance if you need it, so you can really go ham and push hard and heavy on split squats. Number 7 is the last lower body exercise on this list, and it's the hyperextension. Again, people are probably doing this movement, but it's definitely more of an afterthought for most people. It's more of a lower back exercise or something that gets
Very
skipped
true.
because at the end of a workout. But if you really think about this for a second, the hyperextension literally is just a stiff leg deadlift that's been rotated forwards 45 degrees or so. What this means is it can be categorized with the same priority that you
more
might
of
give
a
a deadlift
lower
or deadlift
back
variation,
workout.
and you can really hammer your entire posterior chain with this exercise. The challenge is a lot
Also
of people's
trains
gyms don't
your
have access to one that
hamstrings.
gives you enough height to really load up a ton, but you can experiment with either upper back loading or try elevating your hyperextension up on blocks to create extra height that you need for
Very
a
true.
barbell or a dumbbell if your gym allows for it. Underrated exercise number 8 is the prone Y raise.
That's
Like the high table row,
apparently
Y
it is
raises
good.
are starting to
That
get a
you
little
guys saw my
more
last
popularity over
video.
the last couple of years, which is really cool to see.
Apparently,
But one extra
the Y
challenge here
raise is
is to
really
not just do them on an incline or standing upright, but laying completely flat or as close to flat as possible. This will really challenge the upper back and shoulder muscles in their fully shortened position, which is
Apparently.
notoriously very weak and undertrained. Don't be surprised if you're only using very tiny weights here. I like to do these with small plates with a 5-second hold on each rep, and then I might even do a quick mechanical advantage drop set and go up on an incline to finish everything off after. Exercise number 9 is the humble push-up. Most of us would have done a push-up at least once in our lives, and many people would have felt like they've graduated beyond them and switched them out for other exercises like bench presses.
Yeah.
The unique
Incline.
benefit to a push-up is you get more freedom at the shoulder blades to work the muscle called the serratus anterior, which is
Very
super
true.
important for shoulder function and mobility, and secondarily, when we're placing our wrists
I like to do a lot of
position
different
for
push-up
extension,
variations, plank
this will help to
push-ups,
stretch
pseudo
out and
plank
flex the
push-ups,
muscles in your forearms and
handstand
below.
push-ups, all those
You can
types of
load this up
push-ups. Those
using
are my
a
favorites.
weight belt or bands.
I don't
and
like to
you
use
create a
weights
whole
in
new
general,
world of
so
challenge that
I
most
highly
people have
recommend it.
completely overlooked.
Straight
All right,
calisthenics.
final exercise. But before we get there,
So then
if
also you
think
can
up
do
this
them
one,
wherever you go.
let me know in the comment section below, and maybe we'll do a follow-up video with even more underrated exercises. Final one is the dead hang. This is a super simple and accessible way to
Another very
introduce some
simple
loaded stretching for the
exercise.
shoulders and back muscles into your workouts.
It's
I normally
really
do
nice.
sets of around 10 to 60 seconds, depending on what I'm currently working on. You can work with different amounts of assistance
It
or
feels really
progression,
good.
and even add weight. You can use it for grip strength or flexibility training with the use of straps, and these are simply one of my absolute favorite ways to both start and finish a workout to get me feeling nice and loose. All right, that's it for today, guys. If you're after a program that helps to fill in
I
the
like
gaps
to
with
do,
some of
like,
these underrated
swinging on the
exercises
pull-up.
and
I like
muscle
that. I
regions,
think it's monkey
check out my
bars.
programs on Gambaru. My recommended start points are Prep or Women's Foundations for beginners, Power Build 2.0 or Push-Pull Legs 2.0 for intermediates,
his hair.
and Split and the full body programs for more advanced trainees. If you use the code underrated, you'll receive 10%.
Well, go check this guy out, Eugene Tiao. Pretty sure he used to be a pro bodybuilder. He is a pro bodybuilder, very cool guy. And yeah, this is the end of the video, guys. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys want to see next, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye bye.